Here's a throw by Merton. It is a collision at the plate. And Pierzynski not only bangs into Barrett, bangs onto the plate, and here they go.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of the Crosstown Baseball Podcast. He is Matt Cannon. I am Kevin Sullivan, and let's get right to it with a lot of action this week for the White Sox and the Cubs, positive and negative. So we'll get right to it this week, starting with the White Sox. So I will turn it over to Matt.
Yeah, so let's start with the ugly first. Our beloved Mooney Murakami is going to miss 4 to 6 weeks with a grade 2 hamstring strain. He exited the game the other day, hobbled off the field. A lot of PTSD from players of White Sox old exiting with hamstring strains, and they seem to know how severe it was pretty soon after it happened, because I think Will Venable literally said right after the game that he's going to miss a couple weeks at least. It was not just a cramp. It was not just, a grade 1. Like they knew it was a problem. So that sucks. And that really, really sucks because we are going into by far our toughest stretch of the schedule of the year. And we are going to miss his bat. It's very unfortunate. No one in Major League Baseball is liking this because he's a great story. And he's, but we're going to hope that he really only misses this 4 weeks or so, that it's not a Kyle Teel situation. And Kyle Teel, I know, hurt something else. I think it was his knee during his rehab assignment. So it's not like his hamstring reactivated. So yeah, that really sucks. Now, to take Murakami's place, we have called up Jacob Gonzalez, who was our first round pick a couple years ago in the MLB draft. I know you wrote his numbers here. I mean, his numbers in AAA are pretty unreal this year. 317 average, 19 homers, 62 RBIs for the AAA Charlotte Knights. Now
he's a good-looking prospect.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Now Charlotte is a really hitter-friendly ballpark.
Okay.
So like us White Sox fans are kind of like always trained to be like, the numbers may be inflated a little bit with Charlotte, and then on the same page, like pitchers might have a slightly higher ERA and slightly worse numbers than like they might otherwise. But he kind of forced the issue, because before Murakami got hurt, people were wondering, where's Gonzalez going to play? Well, the answer is going to be he's right now our first baseman, at least against left or right-handed pitching. We'll see how good it is. Well, he looked pretty impressive in his first game. Got his first hit. He had hit a couple other hard balls. I think like at least one of the outs he had would have been a home run at Charlotte, someone said. But we'll see. Murakami being out sucks, but I'm glad we have another promising guy to take his place, and we'll see what happens. We also,
do you think they would keep Gonzalez up when Murakami comes back if he performs well?
I think there are a couple options. I think yes, if Gonzalez hits, I don't think he's going to go back down. I think you can put him in the DH spot and put Benintendi in the outfield, because Benintendi's been DHing a lot. The other option is to cut Benintendi. Now, Benintendi's actually been performing okay this year, but he really kind of is taking up a roster spot. But he still is owed quite a bit of money, so I don't know if Jerry would want to just cut him.
He's the highest paid player in White Sox history, right?
In White Sox history. Now,
that is
everyone's
so
hoping
sad.
Murakami will beat that at some point in the near future. But we will see. Yeah. I was really excited when they signed Andrew Benintendi. I was not excited that 5 years, $75 million is the highest contract ever handed out to a White Sox player. I thought it was a fair contract for Andrew Benintendi at the time. And then he's been so disappointing. But this year he's been okay. We called up, and I think I mentioned last week, Riku Nishida was called up, who has been okay. He's only like 2 for 12, RBI. Will Venables had him bunt a lot. The one game we lost to the Twins this week, there are two reasons we lost it. Number one is the umpires, both on the field and in New York, completely blew a replay challenge. Chase Meredith should have been safe at first base, and there should have been another. There would have been an opportunity for Sox to win the game. It seemed to be a tie play at first. The Twins were out of challenges, and the crew chief let them review it anyway. And even though there was no, indisputable proof that the call should have been overturned, the call was overturned. And people were really pissed about it. Then the other reason they lost that game was that Will Venable had Riku Nishida bunt, and even bunt with 2 strikes, and then he ended up striking out. So that was unfortunate. But we took 3 out of 4 from the Twins, so that's fun. And then we swept the Tigers, which was even more fun. One couple games very dramatically, one game complete blowout. So it's been a fun week this week. We are at the Twins starting as of this recording right now. And if you see me glancing to the side of my screen, I have the game on mute right now. And then we are going to Philadelphia to take on the much improved Phillies since they fired Rob Thompson. So that should be interesting. And then I did want to say, we announced today an alumni home run derby. And did you see this?
No, I actually didn't.
I didn't. I'm going to read you the names of the participating players here.
Okay, this should be good.
It's pretty wild.
Okay.
Because they released a graphic, and a couple of them were like, "Is that who I think it is?" So I'm actually not gonna read this in order because I'm gonna save the weirdest one for last.
Okay.
So, first of all, Alexi Ramirez, fresh off steroids.
Fresh off steroid suspension. Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Gordon Beckham, who's been with the team.
Wait, where are they hosting this?
It is going to be on July 11th at Wright Field against, it looks like it's a Saturday game against the A's, and it looks like they're doing it. I can't tell if they're doing it before or after the game.
Okay.
But it's going to be a blast. So Alexi Ramirez, Gordon Beckham, Scott Podsednik, home run hitter Scott Podsednik.
Yeah, well, it's because he has one of those famous home runs in White Sox history.
Daniel Palka, you remember him from like 8 years ago?
Oh my God. Okay,
hit 30 home runs in one season, was never really that good again. Leary Garcia.
Okay.
Hit our biggest postseason home run of the post 2005 White Sox history. And then here's the head scratcher. Are you ready for this one?
Oh God. Okay. Mark Burley.
This is a good idea. I want you're never going to guess who this is. But they are a prolific home run hitter who did play for the White Sox.
Oh, is it like Griffey?
No, that would make sense to me.
Or Manny Ramirez?
That would even make a little more sense to me. No, this person I think played a little bit longer than those guys for the Sox.
Oh, was he just like someone who just had like a cup of coffee with the White Sox, basically? Like someone like that?
I think he played like almost a full season. Are you ready? I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
Jose Canseco.
Jose Canseco.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Jose Canseco is going to participate in the alumni home run derby for the White Sox.
So again, the participants are Jose Canseco, Alexi Ramirez, Gordon Beckham, Leory Garcia, Scott Podsednik, and Daniel Palka.
So Canseco and Alexi are bringing the roids, right?
Apparently.
Yeah.
So that is the wildest set of alumni for any sort of event I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I am
Well, it's not
very
like they're getting Frank Thomas, so
yeah, no, they are not getting Frank. Yeah, they got Jose Canseco back and not Frank Thomas because of
the
everything.
fact they didn't get one of either Frank Thomas, Maglio Ordonez, or Carlos Lee, I
Or
think
Paul
is
Konerko.
or Paul Konerko.
Yeah. Also, like Jose Abreu, what are you doing right now? Like,
Right.
yeah, it's a weird group. Um, it's a weird group. So, sure, why not? I'm
Because I'm
excited.
sure a lot of guys were like, I can't hit a dinger anymore.
Yeah, possibly they don't want to like because like Leary Garcia, like you know, um, he's not too far out of the league. Alexi Ramirez clearly just played some professional baseball this year. But like
For the
Jose,
last time.
oh, I'm I'm blown away. I cannot believe we are going to see Jose Canseco at like an official White Sox event. Uh,
That is wild. I forgot he was on the White Sox.
Me too until today.
Yeah.
So yeah. So with that being said, lots of stuff with the White Sox this week. And you and I will chat about the record right after the Cubs because there are some strikingly similar things when we look at those reports. So, all right, that's it for me for the Sox this week.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. And yes, we will discuss both the current record of both teams at the moment. So moving on to the Cubs. The Cubs finally managed to break a 10-game losing streak this past week. Yay. Yes, they finally managed to win a game. Things are not going well on the north side. As of this recording, they are currently tied for third. Like they are in danger of falling into fourth place in
Better
the
than I mean, they
all.
were in last place a few days ago, I believe.
Were they? Yeah,
Yeah, but I
that's
mean, the
possible.
Central's so closely contested. At least like the the bottom three or four, like it it's easy to fall into last place and get out of
Right.
it the next day.
Every team is still above 500. It's easily the best division in baseball this
Wild.
year. Yeah. But the Cubs are definitely struggling. I honestly think the injuries are starting to take its toll. The current rotation, this is the current Cubs rotation as of like today. Shota Imanaga, Ben Brown, Jordan Wicks, Jamison Tyone, and Colin Ray.
Yeah, that's not how you guys had it on paper during spring training. That's for sure.
No Justin Steele, no Cade Horton, no Javier Assad, no Edward Cabrera, no Matthew Boyd. Shota Imanaga was like going to be like a swingman. I honestly think going into this season, more of like he would make more like occasional spot starts than pitching every
Well,
fifth
because
day.
yeah, like on paper, the depth of the rotation was enough for that luxury.
Yeah.
Because
Jamison Tyone
Shota's
is
not
not,
a terrible pitcher, but
no,
he's not he should not be your number one pitcher, and right now he
no,
is.
no. He was giving up a lot of home runs last year. He's pitched well this season. I will give him credit for that. He has pitched well. He definitely seems to have figured a few things out, but he's not your number one. Definitely not. This rotation is in shambles. Thankfully, it looks like Matthew Boyd and Edward Cabrera will be returning soon to the rotation. That'll be really big. They obviously need that. It is just going horribly right now for the Cubs. Alex Bregman not hitting for any power whatsoever. Um, we'll see. I just hope it's not another, Jason Hayward type contract where we pay a guy big money and then all of a sudden he can't hit anything.
Well, and Bregman's older than Hayward was for sure, right?
I think so, yeah.
Hayward was like 26, 27.
I think Bregman's like 33.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, Bregman has less years on the contract, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. But he seems to be struggling at the plate a bit. Dansby Swanson can't hit anything right now, which is very frustrating. He plays elite defense. That's what keeps him on the field for sure. But I mean, the Cubs they have just so many black holes in their lineup right now. just guys who
For
are not
the
hitting.
amount of money that, like, for the amount of payroll that they have, to have as many holes as they have, and of course injuries are a big part of it. But even the non-injured players, just the underperforming players, it's a lot.
Yeah. They brought up Kevin Alcantara. He was doing really well in the minors. They don't really have a spot for him though at the moment. Maybe they try to trade Ian Happ since he is going to be a free agent, or Seiya Suzuki. I guess that's possible. We'll see where they're at as we get closer to the deadline.
I was like, I mean, like, what? Yeah, like, what happens when? And I'm gonna say when, not if, but like, because unless they have a big fall off, but like, if the Cubs are within 5 games of the Central, but they're still kind of playing 500 baseball or whatever they've been playing for the last like month or so. Like, I mean, they do they buy? Do they sell? Do they kind of just stand pat? Like, I imagine they try to add, but not, sell the remaining farm that they have. Like, that's a tough spot to be in.
they have a lot of impending free agents this offseason, including the aforementioned Ian Happ and Seiya Suzuki, Shota Minaga, Matthew Boyd, just to name a few. Um, I think you retool. I think if you're within 5 games, you know this team can win because they've had 2 10-game winning streaks this season, which is wild. They're like one of the only teams ever to have 2 10-game winning streaks and a 10-game losing streak, and they had all three by June 1st.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. Like, it's one thing if this would be like an entire season long thing, but it's been 2 months.
Yeah.
That's insane.
hmm So when you look at that, it's like, well, this team can definitely win. I think you potentially retool. Maybe you open up a spot for Alcantara. Maybe you move early to get something for some of these free agents while also trying to make the team better. They need to get some guys back. Justin Steele had a setback. Hopefully he comes back at some point. Obviously, Cade Horton's out for the year. Javier Assad, maybe he returns at some point. But yeah, it's not looking looking really great right now for the Cubs. I know we talked about this before we started recording, but if the season were to end today as of this recording, the White Sox would be the second wild card team in the American League, and the Cubs would be out of the playoffs.
Again, it's like, you know, of course, the biggest part of this is that the AL has been bad and the NL has been pretty good.
Yeah.
That's the biggest part. But the Cubs, I mean, the White Sox have the momentum right now because the White Sox got off to, I think it was 6-13 start. So the first 2 series were excruciating. I'm sure if we go back to listen to those first couple podcasts we did, like, I'm a much happier man now than I was then.
Yeah. Yes.
So ever since then, they've been playing really good baseball. Whereas the Cubs got off to a pretty strong start, but like you said, they've had big winning streaks. They've had now a big losing streak, and they've been inconsistent. So, even though they're the same record, and I told you that as of right now, because the Cubs have lost one more game than the Sox. The Sox technically have the better winning percentage, but same amount of wins. Um, of course, me as a Sox fan, I feel better about where my team is than what you feel about yours because you have, momentum is not on your side and you have more competition as of right now in your division, and the league overall because it's not just your division, it's the wild cards, slots. The fact that we're the second wild card, not even the third, is insanity to me. And I think we're something like 3 games, like 2 or 3 games up of the second, like in the second spot right now. Like, that's crazy.
I
So
never expected
I
that
don't
for the
know.
White Sox this season, and I'm not just saying that as a Cubs fan who doesn't like the White Sox, but like I never expected them to be in a playoff position in
Nobody did.
June.
Nobody did.
Yeah,
I mean, go back to our season predictions. I think I predicted them to lose 91 games. I
yeah,
looked up. So I mean, people were the incredible stats because of how bad the Sox have been for the last year. So they have 32 wins as of right now. They were in 2024 when they got their 32nd win. Their record was 32 and 111. The following year, it was like 32 and like 60 something. And now it's 32 and 27. So in 2021, when the Sox won the division, they won 90 plus games, they got their 30th win of the season on May 29th. The 2026 Sox that nobody thought were going to be good got their 30th win of the season on May 29th.
Very good.
I'm not saying they're going to win 90 games. We have a lot of baseball left to play, but right now it's not out of the realm of possibility, which I never thought I'd be saying that this year.
Yeah. I'm very surprised, honestly.
Yeah.
I never expected that either. But yeah, it's
And the Cubs could also win 90 games, but they also
they
then
could.
still miss the playoffs because of how good that division is.
It's insane how good the NL Central is. It really is. I think they face a lot of stiff competition. I mean, just look at this past week. They split the series with the Pirates, and then they lost 2 out of 3 against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And like the Pirates, I mean, I've been high on the Pirates so far this season, and I think that Paul Skeens, like I said, my early season prediction that I keep going back to, that he will pitch a playoff game this season. So the Pirates are further along than I think most people realize, and the
Mhm.
Cardinals. I mean, this is just the Cardinals again. They say they're rebuilding, and somehow they are still like above 500 and competing.
I'm gonna use one of our, as a Cubs and Sox fan, we have a lot of differences, but I'm going to I'm going to crap on the Cardinals for a second to join
Nice.
forces with you.
It's
Well,
okay
more
to crap on the Cardinals
yeah,
always, no matter if you're a Cubs or
more
Sox
crap on
fan.
their fans a little bit, and I know their fans are they're told best fans in baseball and all that BS and all that.
Uh,
Um, they've been bad for a couple years, and just the reactions of I've seen on social media and everything, it's kind of similar like Red Sox fans or like the Yankees when they don't make the playoffs for a year. They are so entitled. Like the Cardinals having a bad season. I mean, I literally have seen nobody has it worse than us. Like I'm like, have you met a Colorado Rockies fan?
yeah, for real.
Like, or I'm sorry, a Chicago White Sox fan? like I so yeah, the Cardinals are never down too many years in a row, and so this is not super surprising. So fans, shut up. And also, yeah, shout out to Red Sox fans as well. I'm like, I know that team is mismanaged and everything. You have 4 freaking World Series championships in the 21st century. Like, shut the
Like,
hell up.
shut up.
Yeah,
Yeah, seriously, that's more than most people get.
yeah. So anyway, I wanted to join forces with you there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then the Cubs this upcoming week, they are home against the Athletics, the No City, the
Aren't
Oakland,
aren't
Sacramento,
they
Las
technically
Vegas.
Sacramento this year? Didn't they add that to their jerseys?
They added it to a jersey, but officially they're still just the Athletics.
Stupid.
Yeah. Oh, it's stupid. I mean, they just need to get to Las Vegas already. I don't know why they're letting them play out of a minor league ballpark.
For 4 years because it's not even next year, right? It's 2028.
It's they one more season in the minor league ballpark
Oh my god.
after this season, and then they'll
Embarrassing.
move to Vegas in like 2028, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's crazy. So the Cubs will host the Athletics and the Giants this week. The Giants have not been very good
No, the
this
Sox just
season.
won a series against them, and they've been really disappointing. I know.
The Athletics are a tough team.
Yeah,
They're like young and they're good. That could be an interesting series for the Cubs. So we're excited to see how that goes. Hopefully the Cubs can return to their winning ways at some point, please. That's all I ask. Just win games. God. Life is hard as a Cubs fan.
but not as much as it is a Cardinals fan, Kevin, according to Cardinals
Yeah,
fan,
yeah. According to the best fans in
the best
baseball. So
fans.
if you're saying you're the best, you're not the best.
That's right.
Yeah, it can't be self-proclaimed. So with that, move on to the rest of MLB. Some interesting notes from around the league. Bobby Valentine threw out the first pitch at Citi Field this past week, wearing his infamous mustache and sunglasses from the 1999 ejection incident when he was ejected from a game and then returned to the dugout incognito, quote unquote.
I love it. I think it's hysterical. I don't like Bobby Valentine. Like you and I were probably a little too young to like you remember him as the Mets manager. So like the only time I remember him as the manager was the 2012 Red Sox, and he was awful. Um,
Yeah, yeah, he should not have managed that team.
no, and actually, there's a lot of similarities with his hiring of that team and the Tony La Russa hire for the
Hmm.
Sox. Um, of just like managerial hires that made no sense at the time, and then of course backfired. Um, but his whole like his whole ejection and the mustache and thing, like if that happened today, like it would be a really funny moment. But like I think it's just like it's like this pre-internet era of like I think it's such an infamous and famous moment because it's just like it was probably like the wackiest thing anybody had ever seen in a professional sporting event. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right,
I feel like
right.
today it would be funny, go viral for a few days, and then like it'd be like, oh yeah, remember when that happened?
Yeah. We weren't as conditioned to things like that back then,
Right.
I would say.
So I like that they're acknowledging it. I think it's fun. Mets fans like it. You can laugh about it now. I know. I mean, I just remember reading about how pissed people were about it and how like pearl clutching, it was and all that.
Oh, he's
So
desecrating the game.
yeah, like nah, it's funny. Like if he's willing to take the suspension and the fine, like who cares?
Right, exactly. Who
It's
cares?
funny.
No, it's funny. So that happened this past week. A few notes from around the league. Speaking of the A's, starter Luis Severino exited this past week with right arm soreness, so he'll be set for testing on that arm. So we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, that would be a big loss for the A's. I know he's a big part of that rotation, I believe.
It's gonna be. I mean, it's a big loss for them, but I'm sure you're happy that you won't be facing him.
That's true. It works out as a Cubs fan, but you don't like to see players go down with something like that.
No,
Hopefully, it's nothing too serious, but we will find out soon. Cal Raleigh recently took his first swings off a tee after recently going on the injured list. He's had a rough start to the season after hitting 60 home runs last season, the most ever for a catcher in a single season. It is insane the amount of like physical workload his body took last season. He caught so many games like for a catcher, I
yeah,
feel like. So it is interesting that he's having a little bit of a rough start to this season. So we wish him well and hopefully he'll be back soon. Blake Snell of the Dodgers recently moved to the 60-day IL. So we will not see him again anytime soon. And he's battled injuries on and off the past few seasons.
I feel like
After
he has like a really really great season. Wins a Cy Young, then is like injured for like 1 or 2 seasons, and then comes back and like wins another Cy Young, and then is injured again.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, pretty much.
he is honestly pretty consistent. So yeah, when he gets back to being healthy, he'll probably be great again.
Right, right. If and when that day comes, but yeah, probably. So he'll be out for quite some time. So we wish him the best as well. And then looking at the standings, the Mariners are in first place with a 500 record.
Gotta love that American League.
Just goes to show the American League is a bit down this season, and all the divisions seem to be struggling just a little bit in the
By the
win
way,
column,
what the AL struggling all year and the NL succeeding can only mean one thing:
which is
the American League team is going to win the World Series.
probably, yeah.
Like it will, like it will be like you know the Dodgers versus, let's say, the White Sox or the Mariners, that they just sneak in the playoffs, and that's the team that's going to win the World Series this year because baseball.
Yep, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Expect the unexpected. And then looking at the NL East, the Braves are running away with it. I believe they have a 9.5 game lead already in that division.
The
So,
Phillies being so bad to start the season was really good for them, and they've
yeah,
gained some ground. But yeah, it hasn't been enough. And the Mets are being the
there's
Mets.
still time. A team could catch them potentially, but it's possible they won't.
How are them? I don't. What's the Marlins record? I don't even know. And the Nats are not too bad. I think they have a winning record at the moment.
I think they do at the moment.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. It could happen.
It could
Um,
happen. Let's see. Looking at the NL East here, yeah, the Braves have a 40-20 record. The Nationals are 31-29 at 9 games back. And the Phillies are 30-29. Let's see. The Marlins are in last place at 26-34
every
behind the
time I think
Mets.
like that team might be somewhat okay, they just aren't.
Bad ownership.
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to with the Marlins. It's just always bad
Well,
ownership.
and they're such like a horror story for me because like of course White Sox fans dream of the day that Jerry Reinsdorf is not the owner anymore. And like I know when Jeffrey Loria sold that team and it wasn't to Derek Jeter and company and all that, like
Mhm.
that was like a brand new day for them. And boy, it's been just the same old BS year after year. And you honestly feel for them. Like that's a that's got to be a tough team to be a fan of year after year. But again, they have two World Series championships, in the last 30 years. So
Oh,
cool.
well. Yeah. Well, I remember I saw an interview recently, and then we'll move on with a player who I forgot who it was, but he is with the Rockies now, but he was with the Marlins. And in the interview, he said he would walk around Miami and he wouldn't see anyone wearing a Marlins jersey. But like you walk around Denver and you see people wearing Rockies jerseys.
Yeah.
I just think Miami is just not a. I think it's bad ownership. I think that it's a whole. We could do a whole episode on how the Marlins have been mismanaged over the years and why they're kind of a laughing stock. But
Yeah. And like,
I
and it's like,
digress.
I think Florida is just tough in general. And you and I talked about the Rays last year, and I'm hoping that a new stadium in that new part of of Tampa will help them. But like, I actually did read this week that I guess there's a group in Orlando that's like really pushing for a major league team.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, to have a third team in Florida when the first two are like so unsuccessful is just like is just insane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I listen, I know Orlando has professional sports teams, but like, is that really where you can support an 81 game team? I mean, I think the same about Vegas because both of them are just so full of tourists. Uh, but anyway, the Florida teams make me sad.
Yeah. I don't really
Florida
see
in general
Orlando.
makes me sad sometimes.
Yes. I don't see Orlando ever getting a team, honestly. I think it's just too close to Tampa.
I would absolutely agree with that. Like,
Yeah.
it would be like one thing if it was like Jacksonville, which was like North Florida, not that like you'd want a team there, but like
It
it's
would make more sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Florida, you have your two teams. Let's leave it at that. Let's get it to Charlotte or Montreal or Portland, somewhere like that.
Yeah. Could be Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City, yeah.
Yeah. Or apparently Sacramento launched a bid recently.
I like listen, California is a huge state, of course. I just think well, after the A's move to Vegas, you're gonna have four teams left in your state. Like, I'm not saying that Sacramento and maybe somewhere else don't deserve a team, especially because I know the population seems to be supporting the A's while they're there, which has been nice to see.
Hmm.
Um, but like, if you're doing MLB's first expansion in over 30 years, like, let's let's do it somewhere else.
Yeah. Let's not go to Sacramento.
Let's spread the love.
Right. Exactly. Let's go to a state that like doesn't have baseball.
Yeah, and I would really like, by the way, Montreal to get a team back, and Did I talk? Did you watch that Netflix documentary on the Expos?
What
Um,
killed the Ex or who killed
that
the
made me,
Expos?
speaking of Jeffrey Loria and how horrible an owner he was,
Yeah.
that made me full on like cry at the end because like
Hmm.
with all these rumors of the Sox in Nashville and all that, which I think those rumors are pretty put to bed now with Ishaba buying up the train yard and all that. But like, I mean, just imagining losing your team,
Hmm.
it's heartbreaking. And so like, and also I would just like another non-American like United States like city to have a team. I think it would be good for the game.
Yeah.
It all makes a lot of sense. But anyway, I
I
could
think
go
if
on and
you
on
I
about
think if you
that.
do it properly, it can definitely succeed in Montreal
I think so.
again.
They need a new stadium. That's the biggest
Oh yeah. Don't
Olympic
put them in the Olympic
Stadium.
Stadium again.
No. And they've done some exhibition games at Olympic Stadium during spring trainings, I know, like, in the past. And from what I have read, it's like it's okay for like a game or two, but you cannot you can't even do like what the Nationals did, which was like go into RFK Stadium for like 2 years or whatever it was, 2 or 3 years while waiting for your new ballpark. Like you would need to like the infrastructure of Olympic Stadium would need to be like completely redone.
Yeah.
So you either need to have a new stadium ready or you need to just redo Olympic Stadium.
Right.
So we'll see what happens.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. So on that note, we'll get to our baseball at the movies segment for this week, sir. This week we are viewing The Natural. The Natural was released in 1984. It stars the late Robert Redford as Roy Hobbs, the late Robert Duvall as Max Mercy, Glenn Close as Iris Gaines, and Kim Basinger as Memo Paris. On the way to a tryout with the Chicago Cubs, young baseball phenom Roy Hobbs, Robert Redford, is shot by the unstable Harriet Bird. After 16 years, Hobbs returns to pro baseball as a rookie for the last place New York Knights. Despite early arguments with his manager, Pop Fisher, Hobbs becomes one of the best players in the league and the Knights start winning. But this upsets the judge, their owner, who wants Hobbs to lose games, not win.
So what's funny is there's a little like I like that we're doing this the week after we did the rookie because
Hmm.
there's like a little touch of that type of story. And
Yeah.
then we're doing this the week before we're doing Major League, which I know we were gonna so because there's a little touch of that story as well.
Yeah.
So it's a nice middle ground for those two baseball movies. Which you reading that synopsis just kind of put that in my head. I was like, I didn't even think of that until you said it, which is great. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, what a terrific movie. It has been years and years since I saw this movie.
Yeah.
Um, and I really what struck me is number one, the there are three incredible things about this movie. Number one is Robert Redford's performance. I mean, top three, top two, maybe Robert Redford performances. The Sting is, I don't know if you can beat the Sting. Number two, the cinematography is gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's what struck me because, like, I'm not thinking about cinematography as a kid watching this, but just the way everything is shot in this like very magical, like almost supernatural way of. I mean, that's what the whole movie is like, kind of this like fairy tale almost way. And then Randy Newman's iconic score, which did you ever play? What was it? All Star Baseball as a kid. It was on like PlayStation 2 or something.
I think so. Yes. That sounds
And
familiar.
that it used this score from The Natural, and so like that's what's engraved in my mind when I listen to it. Um, so that's really really awesome. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a really good movie about um I don't know. It's about like wanting to be the best and about second chances and I mean there's a lot of things going on. Um, it's I very much enjoyed it more now than I did as a kid. It's not
Yeah.
it's not a kids baseball movie. It's not you know, there's a lot of themes that will go over your head as a kid watching this. And just because it has baseball in it, this is one of those perfect examples of like this movie is about way more than just baseball.
Right.
In fact,
Baseball is the vehicle.
baseball's just yeah, like and like the background vehicle. It's like it's just an excuse to have this type of story. But um no, I really enjoyed it. I mean just the final home run scene is iconic. Um, you know, I enjoyed him uh breaking the clock at Wrigley, uh, which was good. Shooting the cover off the ball, like it's these ridiculous fairy tale moments, but it's not a supernatural movie. It's a very I don't know, it's a very unique
And I
movie.
mean the bat is a pretty key part of the story too.
Uh-huh.
Wonder Bat.
That of course breaks, and you know what's like what I liked is like the scene where it breaks at the very end before his home run. Like if this was a modern movie, they would make that a huge moment that it
Hmm.
breaks, right? They would, I mean, it would be this dramatic slow motion shatter of a bat. And like what I like about it is that he swings it, he hits the foul ball, and then he just looks back and it's broken on the ground. And it's I don't know, there was something about that I was like, I like that choice a lot. That
Yeah.
it is this dramatic moment, but it was shot like kind of so nonchalantly.
Yeah.
And then of course he gets, the replacement bat and hits the home run. But yeah, no, really, really solid. Uh, yeah, for an Italian beef rating, I mean, I it's a really, really great movie. It's like not one I'm going to rewatch over and over. So it's like I don't know, it's a solid 4.5 Italian beefs for me. It's up there with the best of the best, but it loses a point 0.5 for like rewatchability for me. Like I'm
Right.
really happy I watched it. I'm not gonna like have a need to rewatch it again unless I'm like watching it with someone else.
Right. Exactly. I would say the same. This was not a movie that I really grew up watching a lot. But you're right. Like the story is really good. It's shot beautifully. Um, Robert Redford is amazing in it. It's a good movie. It's a really good baseball movie, especially more of like an adult movie. Obviously it's cool that it has a tie to the Cubs. That's pretty neat. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think, I would probably give it a pretty similar Italian beef rating. Because you're right, like I don't feel a need to like rewatch this movie. I'll probably go with the 4.5 Italian beefs, kind of like you did. But that seems like to be a pretty good rating for it. It's a great movie. Highly recommend it to anyone, who's interested in baseball movies.
Well, and even
And
like I
they
put it in like the Moneyball category of like it's a really good movie to watch even if you're not interested in baseball.
Yeah,
It's again it uses baseball as the means to tell a more important story. Um, and so like
it's motivating. It's a good motivating story.
it is. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I love Robert Redford. Glenn Close, I thought is terrific. Wilford Brimley gives a great performance as a manager. Like Robert Duvall, of course. Like it's filled with just these incredible performances. You can just it is probably one of the most prestigious baseball movies there ever was, right? Um, like it's probably the most prestigious movie until like Moneyball because you get like an A-list star to be your lead character. Because even like Field of Dreams, like I think now it's considered like one of the best, but I feel like on release it probably
It
wasn't like
didn't,
to be that type of movie.
yeah. They were worried about it doing well.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas like you can tell the people making this, it's like, okay, this is like we know we love our story. We have these actors. We like, it's a good director, Barry Levinson, like this iconic score. Like this is you this is a very prestigious feeling movie. And
Mhm.
you definitely feel that while watching it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. No, it's a good movie. Definitely, I would highly recommend. And I'm glad we got to watch this one. I thought it was when I was doing the outline for this segment. Robert Redford was a high school classmate of Los Angeles Dodgers and Baseball Hall of Fame legendary great Don Drysdale.
Wow.
So his connection to the actual game, I thought that was pretty cool. So just
Yeah.
wanted to mention that since we have it on there. But stay tuned again next week, as Matt mentioned previously. We will be reviewing the hit classic Major League, the first
So
one,
excited.
right? We're doing the
So
first one.
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll do
we'll
all
start with the
three
first
at
one.
some point. Well, at least
Maybe not the third. We'll
maybe not
see.
the three, but we'll just do the first one next week. We got a
Yep.
lot of weeks of baseball left. And there's only so many baseball movies. Got to spread this out a little bit.
Right, exactly. So stay tuned next week as we will be reviewing Major League on our Baseball at the Movie segment. But that will do it for this week's episode of the Crosstown Baseball Podcast. We greatly appreciate you all tuning in. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe on YouTube and Spotify. Give us a follow on Facebook and Instagram at Crosstown Baseball Podcast. Again, we really appreciate it. Keep those likes and follows coming. And that'll do it for this week's episode. So thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you again next week on the Crosstown Baseball Podcast. And remember, as always, go Cubs.
Go Sox, higher winning percentage.